No James Harden, no problem. The Nets cruising past the Bucks in game 2, 125-86. They're now up 2 games to none. Kevin Durant putting up 32 compared to Giannis's 18. Now, even despite being down 2 games, Giannis says he's not worried, trusting himself and his team. However, there's plenty of room for concern. The Bucks lost by 8 in game 1, but that wasn't even that close. They lost by 39 in game 2. So just take a look at that margin of victory in Nets franchise history in the playoffs. Last night tops the list. Let's welcome in our good friend, the champ Rip Hamilton. So let's talk about the Bucks and the Nets there. So Giannis can say he's not worried, but no James Harden, and this Nets team, Rip, looks unstoppable.
Yeah, man, the Bucks got to take advantage of their opportunity. That's what's ahead of them. You look at the Brooklyn Nets, we all talked about the big three, and no James Harden out there. But hey, this is what the Nets has been used to all season long, only having 2 superstars on the floor. And KD looked like the old KD. KD looked like the guy that we've been talking about before his injury as being the best guy and being the guy in the NBA. So he really came out aggressive. He showcased that, and it seemed like he really took this matchup really personal. Anytime Giannis Antetokounmpo was guarding him, he made sure he called a clear out just so that he could stay engaged and show to Giannis in the world that, hey, he is the better superstar in the league. I thought he did an excellent job of not just scoring, but getting guys involved. But KD, man, boy, I don't want to be I wouldn't want to be on the defense and trying to slow him down right now because he really got a great rhythm.
Rip, also last night we had the Suns going up against the Nuggets there, game 1. Now this looked close at first. It was late. This is when I went to bed and I woke up in the second half. The Suns really ran away with it. So what did you see from each of these teams in game 1 and maybe some adjustments for game 2?
Well, the Suns, man, it really reminds me of different from a personnel standpoint, different than my Pistons team. But from a camaraderie standpoint, they kind of remind me of my old Detroit Pistons team. They love each other. They play together. They're happy for each other. It just seems like everybody out there for this Phoenix Suns team is making the right pass. They're making sure they're not giving up on defense assignments. When one guy's get beat, the other guy helps out. I just love to watch this Phoenix Suns team right now, and a lot of it is because of this guy right here, Chris Paul. Even though he's not doing a lot of scoring out there for them, he does all the intangible things for them. But when it's time to make big buckets like he did, especially in the second half, he was there for this Phoenix Suns team to actually carry them. A guy that I want to shout out, Mikal Bridges. Oh my goodness, this kid right here really grew up. I mean, he's a great. Everybody knew how great of a defensive player he was, especially back in Villanova. But he's knocking down big shots. He's making big plays when his team needs him to do. This team is just hitting on all cylinders right now.
All right, let's look ahead to some games tonight. We get Hawks at 76ers game 2. Of course, the Hawks taking game 1 there. We got to talk about Trae Young. So he has put up 181 points through his now 6 career playoff games, averaging more than 30 points per game. How can this 76ers team try to slow him down?
Man, he's balling right now. And a lot of that, he's using his speed. I mean, the Sixers try their best to put Danny Green on him, but he's able to get space off Danny Green because Nate McMillan's done an excellent job of putting him in multiple pick-and-roll situations. And sometimes he moves Trae Young off the ball. And a lot of times when you're a defensive-minded team, it's easy to guard the guy when the guy got the ball up top and you got 4 defenders always looking at him. But when Nate McMillan does sometimes run Trae off a pin down, put him in a pick and roll situation on the weak side, that's tough to guard because Trae is one of the guys that, one, you got to get up on him, but you got to pick him up as soon as he come off half court. So the spacing that he has out there, in addition with the shooters that he has on the floor, nobody wants to see their guy go out and get 30. So a lot of times when Trae Young is coming off pick and roll or coming off pin down situation and the guy that's guarding the screener, sometimes they're a little too locked into their man because they know how great of a shooter they are. They got to sometimes say, hey, you know what? My guy might go out there and score 20, 30, but we can't allow Trae Young to do what he's been doing in the playoffs so far.
Yeah, one of our wireers pointing out that he's giving off 2013 Steph Curry vibes. Going on the 76ers here, though, I mean, Joel Embiid is playing on this torn meniscus. He says, look, I'm playing through it. It does hurt. He's doing all he can. He put up 39 in game 1. It still wasn't enough. So what else do you need to see from the 76ers team to try to give themselves a fighting chance here?
Man, I need more from Tobias Harris. I mean, he has to be the guy for them, because if you watch this game, and especially late in the game, when the Sixers was in the penalty, Ben Simmons had a lot of opportunities to get to the basket and try to finish. But sometimes when you're a guy that don't want to get fouled, especially in the fourth quarter, you tend to give the ball up a little quicker than you would in the regular season. But Tobias Harris has to be the guy. He has to be the guy to go out there and try to get him an additional 20 to 25 points. He has to be the second option. Curry's, at times he gets hot. He got to pick up his scoring load out there for Embiid too. But I believe Tobias Harris is the guy.
All right, tonight we also get Jazz Clippers set for a round 2 showdown as well. A couple things here. Jazz have actually never lost to the Clippers in the postseason. They've met 3 times in the past. The Jazz have also won 2 of their 3 games during the regular seasons against them. A lot of people are still high on the Clippers in this series. What about you, Rip?
It all depends on what Clipper team we're going to get. Are we going to get the Clipper team that started out in the Dallas Mavericks series, who went down 0-2 on their home court? So I believe that the Clippers have to come out and go back to the team we've been talking about last year, the team that before they suited up, that we felt as though that they were the favorite to come out the West. I know I was. My other colleague maybe thought that the Lakers would, but if they understand the moment and come out and say, all right, we got to take care of business the first couple games. And a lot of it's going to have to be on Kawhi Leonard's shoulders. I mean, he came out aggressive, played great offensively on both ends of the floor for the Clippers, especially in the Game 7. He has to come out and lead by example. Also, for me, what type of adjustment does Ty Lue make, especially early in the series? Does he put Patrick Beverley back in the starting lineup, or does he leave Reggie Jackson in there, who's been really great offensively? He's a guy that Kawhi and Paul George needs out on the floor just from a spacing standpoint. But I feel as though they got to do a better job of taking out the star player. I mean, Luka Doncic last series played great. He was a big part of their offense. He was the first, second, and third option for that ball club. Now you come to the Utah Jazz. And Utah used Donovan Mitchell in a lot of similar situations that Dallas used Luka Doncic, especially in pick and roll situation. The Clippers got to get on him early, try to take him out of the game. Utah is a great passing team. They do a great job of getting other guys involved in the game, but they got to take Donovan Mitchell out the game.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell averaging almost 30 points per game, 28.5 since he returned from that ankle injury. Rip, let me ask you about the rest here. So the Clippers, they only have 1 day of rest. They went 7 games with the Mavs. The Jazz, meanwhile, only went 5 there in their past series. They've had 5 full days of rest. Is that going to play a big factor here?
I don't think it matters right now, because it's only the second round. I mean, if this was going into the NBA Finals where the Clippers played in 3 previous Game 7s and they were trying to get extra time and get extra rest, then yes. But no, I don't. I think that the Clippers need to play a game right away. Just hopefully that they can keep their rhythm. I mean, they played great the last 2 games. So if I'm on a Clippers team, I want to play the sooner the better. I don't want to take days off. I don't want to sit back and be able to sit there and sit on my couch and say, all right, you know what? Feel good about the team, feel good about the situation, and relax a little bit. This team needs to play right away. So I think they're going to be able to use it to their advantage.
Very nice. That is why you have won NBA championships, because you have that mentality. I would want to sit on the couch for about a week. All right, Rip Hamilton, thank you so much for joining us here to break down those games we've got coming up tonight. There they are again, the Hawks looking to make it 2-0 against the 76ers. 76ers got to try to find an answer there for Trae Young. And then the late 1:10 Eastern, Clippers at Jazz. Game 1, the Jazz favored by 4 at home. Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.